Greetings everyone, and I hope the collecting gods are smiling on you wherever you are. And welcome back to the channel for another NECA 1/12 scale figure unboxing and review. And today we're going to be taking an up-close look at NECA's take on the Jungle Hunter Predator from the classic 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger, John McTiernan directed movie Predator, with Kevin Peter Hall playing the titular Predator. This is a re-release of the Predator figure from NECA. I think the first one came out, could be 10, 15 years ago, but they re-released this one back in 2020, 2021, I believe. But the review will take the usual format. We'll have a quick look at the box, then it'll be down onto the table for a look at all the accessories, then it'll be out with the Ultimate Hunter himself for an up-close look, and then we'll be wrapping the whole thing up with the usual showcase at the end. But before we get into it, shout out some background. And firstly, a massive thank you to everyone who subscribed to and supported the channel. You are stars, one and all. And to those of you watching the channel but not subscribing, and I know there's a lot of you out there, come on, take a leap of faith into the welcoming hay bale that is Go Figure. Hit that subscribe button. It's cost and pain free, and you'll be helping us to carry on doing what we're doing here. And you can bask in the warm light of self-satisfaction that comes from knowing you've helped an old man continue his collecting obsession. So, Predator the movie. What can I say about that hasn't already been said? Not much, really. Suffice it to say, I absolutely love the film. A massive, massive fan of the original. And I've got a shed load of Predator stuff in the collection, including NECA's quarter-scale version of this figure and the Hot Toys Classic Predator Namebook 2, and both of those will be coming up for review on the channel very soon, so stay tuned for that. But let's take a look at this box. So let's stop it from spinning. And it's pretty much the usual thing that we've come to expect from NECA. I have to admit that NECA just are so consistent, not only in the quality of the figures, but also in the packaging itself. So those of you familiar with NECA will know that it's their usual Velcro front box, as always. What you've got on the front here is this sort of half head image, as it were, of the Predator himself, almost as if you're caught in that red laser sighting. Yeah, very bold, very simple, very effective. It says Predator at the bottom, Jungle Hunter. We'll bring it round on the side here. Once again, Jungle Hunter Predator, NECA Real Toys. I think it's pretty much the same story on the right-hand side as well. Yes, it is. What have we got on the top? Yeah, same thing again. Predator, ages 17 plus, and a warning on there. On the bottom, you've got the usual credits and bits and pieces. Don't piss this figure off, or you might find yourself hanging upside down minus your skin. Let's bring it round to the back. On the back here, some really, and I'm going to bring this closer into shot actually, because I'm going to take it off the turntable and just have a look at this. There's some really, really nice photographs of the figure itself on the back here. Just really, really well done. And as I said, don't want to bang on too much about NECA's quality, although this is a NECA review. But yeah, regulars to my channel will know that I'm a huge fan. But yeah, you've got a description here of what goes on in the movie and the Predator itself. Predator again, these fantastic photos. We'll just pop this Velcro flap open and take a quick look inside. What you've got on the left-hand side here is another great photo of the figure, and then the figure itself underneath the usual clear plastic window, all the accessories, the figure, and behind there, as always, I'm assuming what they've done here is included one of those sort of cardboard dioramas that can be used for display or photography purposes, which we see just about all the time in NECA figures. So yeah, great presentation, as always from NECA. The eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that this is still sealed. This has never been opened. It's sort of been sat around waiting for the right moment to be opened since I picked this up back in 2020, 2021. So without further ado, let's break those seals and let's dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that come with your Predator figure. Okay, so here we are, down on the table with all the accessories that come with your NECA Jungle Hunter Predator. Let's have a quick look around. We'll start with the hands, as we always do. There's a pair already on the figure itself. It comes with a couple of swap-out hands, and let's take a close-up look at them. It's the usual NECA story here. Very well sculpted, very well painted. Those sort of gloves stroke bindings on the hands there are really well done. You've got some silver effects on the knuckles here. some black speckling on the back of the hands itself. The fingernails are well done and painted black, and you've got that screen accuracy in the colour of the skin itself as well. It's almost like a sort of a semi-translucent skin that the Predator has in the film. So yeah, both pegged and ready to go straight into the arms themselves with these fixed pegs. And yeah, the usual high quality we've come to expect from NECA. So yeah, that's the hands. You also get, let's take a look at these, we'll take a look at the skull and the spine first, as it's been removed from one of his human victims. And yeah, very nicely done it is too. All one piece of sculpted plastic. Paint applications are nice. That skull's very well done. There's multiple paint applications on there. They're browns and sort of greys if the camera's picking this up, and some nice black shading in there to pick out the details, especially in the eyes and around the nose. And just really well done. Those paint applications continue down the spine. Very nicely done. Probably could do with a bit of blood on it. That's just me being a gorehound. But yeah, I might be adding a little bit of blood effect paint to this. I'd like to get slap happy with the red paint, and for screen accuracy as well. But one of the hands that's already on the Predator itself is gripping hand, so you can actually hold this. So yeah, nicely sculpted, nicely detailed, nicely painted. Also comes with a separate skull as well. This one's slightly lighter than this one, and there's slightly more paint applications on this one. If the camera's picking this up, you've got more sort of yellows, browns, blacks, and maybe some browns in there as well, and there's slightly more detailing on this one. But yeah, once again, very well painted, very well sculpted, and some nice teeth paint on there too. So that's your skull and your spinal column. You also get the plasma caster. Let's take a look at this. Now, I believe this actually slots onto the shoulder via the means of these two pegs here, but we'll take a look at that when we bring out the figure itself. Once again, nicely detailed, nicely painted, and it never ceases to amaze me just how much detail that NECA managed to cram into 1/12 scale like this. It really is phenomenal. The paint applications are great, the screen accuracy is there. The actual caster on the top itself is on a ball joint, so you can articulate that, having it pointing in different directions if you're wanting to. It also folds away too. Exactly like it does in the film, so you can go for that look as well. But yeah, nice sort of dark, almost silver, but with a slight hint of bronze in there in the paint application on this to give it that metallic look, and some really nice detailing in the sculpt, including these sort of plastic hoses that you actually see quite a few of around the figure, but we'll take a look at that when we bring the figure out as well. So yeah, great paint applications, great sculpt, on point as always from NECA. So that's the plasma caster itself. While we're looking at that, actually, it does come with this plasma casting effect. Once again, all one piece of sculpted plastic. It's sort of translucent, and then it's been painted white with this blue effect on it. And straight out of the box, actually, I mean, this is meant to attach to the end of the plasma caster itself, and there should be a small peg in here. Having checked out some other reviews and done a bit of research, there should be a small peg in there, which means you can then attach it to this section of the caster. Unfortunately, that peg seems to have broken off. Either it was a moulding issue when this was made. I don't know whether it's come off in transit. I couldn't find it in the box. But yeah, unfortunately, it seems to have gone missing and snapped off and gone missing, which is no real problem for me, to be honest with you, because it's not something I would use in the display. I'm not 100% keen on this. I'll try and sort of hold it on so you can see how it would look if that peg was there. And yeah, it doesn't work for me, that. It's a nice addition, but I wouldn't be displaying it with it anyway. I'm not 100% certain about the shape of that either. It reminds me of something that, well, we won't go into any detail of what that reminds me of. But yeah, the first time I think I've ever had a NECA figure where a piece has been broken off or has been missing in the production process. So yeah, first for everything there. But yeah, that's the plasma caster and the plasma casting effect. We'll put those to one side. And finally, it comes with two head sculpts. We'll take a look at the unmasked head sculpt, but you also get this this spare mask as well. Now, once again, all one piece of sculpted plastic. I will try and get this as close into the camera as I possibly can, and hopefully the camera will focus on this. Really nicely sculpted this. Paint applications on here are really, really noteworthy. It looks, to all intents and purposes, like metal. The only thing that gives it away as not being metal is its weight. But yeah, there's some really nice detailing on here. There's some scuffs on the top there, some scratches if the light will catch that. There's also some scuffs on the front here, and there's some dinks on the side here and scratches. But it's just got this that lovely sort of, how can I describe it? It's a similar paint application to the caster. It's somewhere between silver and bronze, and it just looks really screen accurate, really on point, and very, very nicely done indeed, and very sculpted. Unfortunately, it won't fit on the head of the alternate head sculpt, which we'll bring out now, actually. By the way, this head sculpt holder doesn't come with the figure itself. This is just something I'm using because, and I'll get this into shot, the dreadlocks on this figure, because of the way it was stored in the box, the dreadlocks were curled underneath, and if I put this down on a flat surface, it'll just roll away like a football. But yeah, we'll take a look at this. But as I mentioned, this mask doesn't fit on here. They've not gone for that thing that Hot Toys do, where you have removable mandibles or anything like that. This is simply for display purposes. You can have him holding it, or just have it on the display itself. But yeah, let's take a look at this unmasked head sculpt. And I have to say, once again, and at the risk of sounding like a broken record, NECA have done it again. The level of detail, the level of screen accuracy they pack into 1/12 scale is, as I say, simply phenomenal. But yeah, you've got, it's all one piece of sculpted plastic. Well, not one piece of sculpted plastic, but it's all sculpted plastic. The hair at the back here, these dreadlocks, are a soft plastic. I'm not going to say they're rubber. They may very well be rubber, but it feels like a soft plastic to me. Possibly could be rubber, but they've got movement to them. The detailing with these clips in the dreadlocks themselves, these gold clips, is really nice. I think sometimes companies can get these wrong, and I've had Predator figures where the colour's been off and they've been way too muted, and I've had to go back and repaint them with gold. But yeah, NECA have got it absolutely on point here. The length, the thickness of them, everything's there. The head sculpt itself, I'll try and get this as close into camera as I can, and hopefully it will focus. Yeah, great paint applications, great sculpt. The proportions are spot on. I do love this black detailing here, which is screen accurate, where it thickens up around the eyes and then into the hairline itself. The paint applications on the mouth with the mandibles open are really good. Even down to, and I'll try and see if the light can catch this, we've even got those yellow circles for eyes, which are really recessed in there, but if the camera can spot that. But yeah, great head sculpt, this one, for a 1/12 figure, really phenomenal. And yeah, as always, I'm suitably impressed with NECA's work. So yeah, that's the swap out head sculpt, and that's all the other accessories. So without further ado, let's bring out the Ultimate Hunter himself, get him onto the turntable and take an up-close look at him. Okay, so here he is. It's the Jungle Hunter Predator by NECA. Straight out of the box, straight onto the turntable. No accessories, no posing, no nothing at all. Just as is, straight onto the turntable. And yeah, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, it's the same story again. NECA do it yet again. They're old hats at this game, but they still manage to turn out amazing 12 scale pieces with amazing screen accuracy and detail. My first impressions are what I expected, to be honest. Just really good 12 scale figures. Yeah, we'll take a close-up look at this guy before this turns into a gush fest. Let's stop him from spinning and have a close-up look. As I say, first impressions are absolutely spot on. The proportions look right. The screen accuracy looks nailed on. The paint applications look fantastic. The materials they've used just look... they're just there. They're absolutely 100% there. But let's get him off the turntable and get him into camera and have a close-up look at him. Start at the bottom as we always do and work our way up. These feet, the huge feet that the Predator has, are caught perfectly there in 12 scale. You've got two pegs in the bottom here, obviously, if you're wanting to use one of the 12 scale figure stands. Me, I tend not to use those. This guy has got huge feet and is very, very sturdy, and made out of a really solid hard plastic, and yeah, it just as you can see, no issues with free posing this. It isn't going to fall over unless you knock it or you get it in some crazy pose. So yeah, those feet are really I'll try and get these into shot so you can see these. Really nicely detailed. There's multiple paint applications on there. There's sort of that yellowing, that almost green effect. The nails, the toenails are really well done. The painted on bands around the feet, just overall brilliantly done and really screen accurate. There's that little bit of armour on the feet has been caught there as well, and painted to give it that metallic look. Moving up to the armour now, I'm hoping the light is doing this justice here, because the way this has been painted just looks really great. It looks like battered metal to all intents and purposes. Obviously it's just hard plastic, but it's just really well done. There are dinks and scratches and weathering on there. Once again, it's that same sort of almost bronze effect paintwork that they've used there. The sections in between are painted black and are nicely done with that ribbed effect. This is repeated on both sides. That armour looks fantastic. The knee pads are slightly darker with a slightly softer plastic to give it some movement in there. The joints are nice and stiff, but not overly stiff. You've got a full bend in the knee there. And once again, it's one of those figures that maybe they could have painted these spots here if I had to be really picky here. There are, and if the camera's catching that, there are gaps here where the joints are in the knees on either side. And if I can just open this leg up a little bit, you'll see them there as well. Maybe one minor niggle there. Those could have been painted. There's no reason why those can't have been painted really, which is a shame. Maybe something I might have to touch up myself. Literally will take 2 seconds with some black paint there to hide those. But overall, this is one of those figures that lends itself to actually being jointed this way, because really the joints with the armour and the outfit itself are well hidden. As I say, apart from those couple of points there at the knees. But yeah, the webbing over the top of the skin is sculpted on and then painted. The actual body underneath the webbing has got this sort of almost translucent effect, if the camera's catching that, which once again is screen accurate. It's hard to describe it. I've heard it described as jelly-like, and that's probably a good way of putting it. It's got that sort of wet, almost translucent look, and they've caught that really well, NECA, with the paint applications here. The side armour at the top of the thighs here is a soft rubbery plastic. Once again, same detailing, same level of paint applications. The loincloth is it's two forms of plastic. You've got a hard plastic. Well, I'll say hard. It's slightly harder at the waist section here, but it comes down into these movable, almost flaps at the bottom here. The cod piece is to scale, to proportion, and well painted and sculpted. We'll go around the back, and the skirt section itself is a soft plastic to sort of emulate that leather look. And the paint applications are really nice. The sculpt's really well done. They put some ribs in it to give it that leather-like effect, and then the paint applications on the whole continue that leather-like feeling. There's some sculpted in pouches here, and it's all continued in that soft leather, or soft plastic rather, to simulate leather. the movement in the waist. There's not a vast amount of movement in the waist there, but the legs, I believe, are on a ball joint. Looks like it's on a ball joint to me. So you've got a fair amount of movement in the legs forwards and backwards, and some lateral movement as well. Moving up, that netting effect is continued with that skin effect, and trying not to knock the camera over here. We've got the two sort of, I'm going to call them, they're not sort of necklaces. Well, they are necklaces, but they're sort of more like shoulder straps with the skulls on and the vertebra on, and they've been captured really well, all in plastic, all well painted. The cord itself is plastic. Chest plate, really well done. I'm not going to go through all of this here because I think it speaks for itself. You can see it. The armour is just really, really well done at this scale. The weathering is great all over. Let's check the articulation at these joints. Yeah, the arms are the usual story for NECA. We've got plenty of articulation there. Not so much in the shoulder, but I suppose that's to be expected simply because, there's forward and backward movement there, but not an awful lot else. But I suppose that's to be expected because of this armour that he's got on the shoulders here. But yeah, there's enough movement there to get some decent posing out of it. Overall, and I'm going to put this sideways here so we can get it all in shot. Really just very, very well done overall. I would say a couple of places to maybe where you may need to exercise caution with this figure is these pipes. Now, I think these pipes are plastic, and there's one here going from the bicep down into the forearm. There's one coming from the shoulder into the chest plate. I'm just trying to spot and see if there's any more. They don't feel like the sturdiest things in the world, especially not that one there. So I would say if you're going to go for some dynamic posing with this arm, exercise caution. You wouldn't want that one to snap off. But yeah, you've got that other necklace at the neckline there, the other bone necklace, and the other place to exercise caution as well. The blades here on the right arm are all plastic, but it's quite a thin plastic, and I would say pulling this hand off to replace it with the others, exercise a bit of caution. You don't want to snap one of these blades off while you're doing that. But yeah, let's take a look at this head. Now, this is obviously the masked head, and really it's the same quality as the other one. They've just sort of combined the mask with the other head sculpt, and mask is non-removable, obviously, but the dreads are of the same high quality, the same thickness, that same soft plastic. Just wonderful. We'll pop this head off and see what it looks like. Oh, and there goes the necklace. We'll take that head off, put that necklace back on, and see what it looks like with the non-masked head on. See if we can't do this on camera. Just need to make sure that those dreadlocks don't get in the way. Find that hole, and it's going to probably be a bit stiff because this is literally, as I said, this has just come out the box. Brand new figure. There we go. It's on, and yeah, those dreadlocks will probably need some futzing, but yeah, that's what he looks like, and that necklace will as well. But there you have it with the with the unmasked head sculpt as well, and just as impressive. I don't know which look I'm going to go for here really in the display, but you got a full range of motion in there as well, with that ball joint in the neck there. Yeah. Not much more I can say about this other than the fact that NECA have done it again. Let's punk him back on onto the turntable and get him spinning and go in for final thoughts on this one. I think you pretty much know where this is going. This is NECA doing what they do best. Just another great piece from them. A couple of minor niggles. I would say the paintwork here could have been a little bit better, and possibly needs touching up, which is something to do after this review. Yeah, well, it's not really a niggle. I suppose it's something that could be avoided, but caution when removing those hands, because that plastic there is quite flimsy. But overall, that's and maybe I could criticise the fact that the little tab had broken on the plasma casting effect, but these are minor niggles. Overall, once again, NECA do it again, and doing what they do best. Oh, almost forgot before we wrap this thing up. It also has the the timer on his wrist will actually open up as well. So if you want to pose him playing around with that, with one of these hands, that's an option as well. But yeah, nice little touch there, and even down to the alien language numbers, shall we say, counting down. They've even been painted on in there. But once again, same quality of paint and sculpting applications there, and a nice little touch. So there you have it. That is the Jungle Hunter Predator in all his glory from NECA, and yeah, yet another home run from NECA, bar a couple of niggles. There are a few things in there, one or two things that maybe could have been improved, but overall, another stunning piece from them. Not going to score this out of 10 because I tend not to score NECA pieces. I suppose if I was going to, if I had to, if you put a plasma caster to my head and said, James, we need a score for this, I would go with a 9, and the only reason I go with a 9 is because of the paint that could have been done slightly better on those joints, and the fact that the peg had been broken off the plasma caster effect. Apart from that, everything absolutely nailed on. Maybe even a 9.5. But yeah, there you have it. I hope this review's been useful. Is this something that you have in your collection? Is it something you're thinking of getting? What are your thoughts on this? I would be fascinated to hear. So, drop a comment in the comment section below. What's your take on this? This NECA piece, and NECA in general, actually. I'd like to hear your thoughts on NECA. So yeah. What's coming up on the channel? Yeah, before we before we shoot on over to the showcase, an awful lot of 1/12 scale stuff from NECA, obviously. That goes without saying. But also as well, we'll be taking a look, as we said at the top there, at the quarter scale NECA Predator. Looking forward to that one. And we'll also be taking a look at the Hot Toys Classic Predator in the not too distant future. Those reviews will be dropping on the channel as well. In the 1/6 scale world, we've got the Blitzway Astro Boy version 2.0, the deluxe version. We've got the Caustic Plastic Horror of Dracula deluxe edition, the Leon Cushing set. VTS Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII Remake, that's coming in. We've got the InArt Batman, that's on his way to us. There's a whole raft of present toys stuff coming in. We've got some quarter scale statues, all lots and lots of stuff. Suffice it to say, loads of stuff on the horizon. So as I mentioned at the top there, please hit that bell notification icon, hit that subscribe button so you're not missing anything new to the channel. And I suppose all it remains for me to say is, from the Predator, from myself, take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.